All right, everyone, please find your seats. We're about to get started. Welcome everyone. This mic is super powerful. Thank you all so much for coming to our 5th Startup Texas event. We could not do this without anyone here that's present. Startup Texas, honestly, is our answer to funding businesses down here in Brownsville, down here in the Rio Grande Valley. The truth of the matter is 80% of venture funds end up in 5 metro areas on the east and west coast. That last 20% is then gobbled up by tier 2 cities like Austin and Denver and Seattle, and none of that trickles down here. So we created this program 5 years ago to invest in businesses right here in our own backyard. We're so excited that in its 4th year, we are in our 5th program, and we have another one coming up again in December as well. Like I said, we invest in startups here in Brownsville on the border and by the sea. And the businesses that you're going to be hearing from today have undergone an 8 to 12-week-long accelerator program with our partners, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, who've also been our partners in developing this entire ecosystem here at the eBridge Center. But we're very excited to announce that we have a brand new partner in this initiative, and that is the Texas A&M Engineering and Experimentation Station. And I'd like to welcome to the stage Dr. Saurabh Biswas, Executive Director of the Technology Transition Program at Texas A&M's Engineering and Experimentation Station, to say a few quick words.
Thank you, Nathan. Good afternoon and welcome you all on behalf of Texas A&M University System and Texas A&M Engineering. This is truly a unique partnership, and we could not be more thankful to BCIC, Corey, Nathan, and also the UTRGV team and the team here in Brownsville. It's really a fabulous team. From our standpoint as Texas A&M Engineering Program, we have a statewide mandate. We have 3 key missions: 1, to do applied research across all potential areas. Workforce, we are already working in Valley for training up to 10,000 folks in the area of technology development. And then this is a new area, which is technology transition, innovation and training program and startups. So this is a program which is going to go for years to come. And what you are seeing today is our goal is to hope how we can support the tech companies or the tech startups in the area. If you look at the economy of Texas, the fastest growth that is coming to Texas is happening on the tech space. And as Nathan said, which is very true, the capital flow is asymmetric. It really doesn't come when you have tech companies at very, very early stages of innovation. So what we are truly hoping with this competition, that we have more and more tech companies who are designing things in all areas, so medical devices, electronics, hypersonics, and it could go to materials and manufacturing, that we can support them, we can mentor them, and we can truly take them to a non-dilutive funding, because we all the time focus on venture funding. One of the key areas where we want to partner is to support companies for non-dilutive funding. There's a lot of investment in the Small Business Innovation Research Grant from federal government, so we would like to see these companies succeed and move in that direction. So today is a fantastic environment. I want to congratulate all the teams who are going to present here, and certainly want to thank the judges. They have come from different places with a deep experience in looking at startup companies from different angles, investment, intellectual property. So again, it's a great environment for pitching to happen. I thank you all for coming, and again, thanks to BCIC for making this happen. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Biswas. And I'd also like to point out a few other VIPs that we have with us in attendance today. We have Commissioner De Los Santos from District 3. We have Ron Garza, Associate Vice President of Workforce and Economic Development for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. We have Luis Martinez, Senior Venture Associate at Capital Factory. We have the entire communications team in the back with Manny Chacon over there with the city. Thank you all so much. We have Ms. Lene Scroggins with Texas A&M's Engineering Experimentation Station. And we also have Ms. Angela Burton, from the District Director for the SBA's Lower Rio Grande Valley, but I'd like to invite to say a few words as well.
Good afternoon. I got a little nervous because I asked Nathan, is there a podium up there? Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't taller than me, because that happens sometimes. So again, I'm Angela Burton with the Small Business Administration. And you're probably wondering, what does SBA have to do with this, right? Well, SBA is sort of the coordinating agency for the SBIR and STTR programs. And so we work with all the federal agencies to make sure that the program is being administered appropriately. Our district, the Lower Rio Grande Valley District, covers 14 counties. So we're as far west as Zapata, as far south as Cameron, and as far north as Aransas County. So we cover a large territory. I do want to just say that it takes a village to build a business. And there are a lot of partners here, and everyone is working very closely together to make sure that we are supportive of small businesses in the area. And so just real quick, just want to say thank you and the best of luck to the folks that are pitching today. And if there's anything that the SBA can do to support you, please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angela. The building you're in right now is really a true embodiment of collaboration. It's only capable because of the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and the City of Brownsville all coming together to create this ecosystem of entrepreneurship that we've been working so hard. And one of the members of UTRGV ECC that's been pivotal in that is Ms. Linda Garza. Ms. Linda Ufflin-Romo. It's been a really long day, guys. I'd like to invite Linda on to say a few words about our accelerator program and the partnership that we have here. Linda Garza, where did I get that from?
Sorry, I got into an accident early this week. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I truly appreciate your presence, your attendance in supporting our entrepreneurial community here at eBridge. On behalf of the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, we welcome all of you. It is an honor to have participated and have spent 8 weeks with 5 amazing companies that were able to work hard and be part of a program that was geared for them to secure and possibly obtain SBIR funding, STTR funding. So this is the first time we do this. Thank you to Texas A&M for allowing us to be part of this partnership. We're very appreciative of that. Here at eBridge, our main goal is to support our entrepreneurial community, our small business community, and to enhance and provide them with all the resources and tools that they need for them to build and to grow. So for us, that's what we do, that's what we're good at, and we're very proud of the work that we do. I do have to mention and give a big shout out to the University of Texas San Antonio. They were our partners in providing the workshops for SBIR, for them to be prepared to be able to secure a good application and a good pitch for you today. So I hope you enjoy their presentations. And without them, thank you, Biju, Matthews, Dana, Lisette, for being inspirational to our cohort, to being able to provide every week, all the information that they needed to grow. Our accelerator program called Advance Up is the curriculum that backs up the Startup Texas competition, and we're very proud to have partnered with our eBridge partners, BCIC, to be able to provide that kind of assistance and acceleration for companies that already exist or they are in the process of technology development. So we do have 3 types of accelerator programs here at eBridge. We have, of course, our quality of life that you kind of experienced it last June, I think July. I think it was July, where we had the opportunity to really see all the value of the community in the Valley that wants to scale even in the traditional, conventional kind of companies. Then, of course, you will see now our SBIR cohort, and in December 14, you will get to experience 9 fantastic companies in the emerging industry. We invite you to come back. That's going to be a transformational event for us as well, because we have been working with those companies for 12 weeks. So we're glad that we are here. Continue supporting all the eBridge initiatives that we have here in Brownsville, and of course across the Rio Grande Valley. Our university has a regional approach, and we're very proud of that. So on behalf again of UTRGV and the UTRGV Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center, my team, Julie over there, Julio, where are you? Julio over here, which are our lead facilitators. My team right here, fantastic group of students. And of course, Perla and Berta and Armando, thank you so much for supporting us. We are here for you, we work for you, and we're very proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I'd also like to point out and say thanks to Dr. Melinda Rodriguez, Deputy Director at the Port of Brownsville, for being with us today as well. Thank you. I'd like to now introduce our esteemed judging panel. We have with us Dr. Lekha Gopalakrishnan, a shareholder with Winstead PC. Jesse Martinez, founder, CEO, and chair of Latinx Startup Alliance and LSA Global. Michael J. Limas, financial advisor and founding partner at Las Ramblas Hospitality Group. And Jesus Cano, manufacturing specialist at the Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center, one of our partners here at eBridge as well, with the university. And now I'd like to bring up Nelson Amaro, the Director of Communications and Marketing for BCIC, to say a few words before we introduce our first panelists. Thank you.
Hey guys, me llamo Nelson, as you heard. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation Economic Development Organization, BCIC for short. So it's hard to explain what I do here. Economic development, it's hard to explain. So when people ask what I do here or what we do here, I try to come up with a story. I'm a marketer. So lately, I have been saying, okay, my job here or what I try to do here at BCIC, it's for me to try for you to be happy at your second and third places. That's my story. That's what I tell them. So that often sparks curiosity on their minds. So I don't know if you ever heard about the first, second, and third places. The first place is your home, your sanctuary, where you go live. Your second place is your work, where you make a living. So for entrepreneurs, oftentimes the first and the second place blur lines. And the third place is the place when you go and the recreation places that we have all around. So as BCIC, we can say that we work with third places because we work on quality of life. So the third place is everywhere else you go enjoy life. parks, trails, downtown areas, recreational spaces, museums, you name it. These are the places where you build community, places that provide common ground for everyone. At BCAC, we make sure those places not only exist, but thrive, so you can find joy and community outside the work and home. Take this venue, for example. It was used as a workspace long ago. It was forgotten for a long time. But today, thanks to y'all, it's transformed into a hub for entrepreneurs, innovators, and dreamers, a place where we can share ideas, network, and vision a brighter future together. And speaking of the future, tonight, we'll be awarding some outstanding entrepreneurs with $40,000, $20,000, and $10,000 to boost their businesses. So before we kick off this event, I just want to add que aquí también se habla español y sería ilógico para nosotros no ofrecer nuestros recursos en español si la comunidad de Brownsville es 98% hispana y el 85% de la gente en Brownsville habla español. Así que si prefieren hablar español como yo, or if mixing languages is your thing, pueden acercarse con nosotros, ya sea con BCAC, con UTRGV, con el equipo de eBridge, y pues con que tengan su idea de negocio escrita en una servilleta, pueden comenzar a trabajar con nosotros. So you know now, as I mentioned, my job here at BCAC, Economic Development Organization, is for you all to be happy, so you can live, work, and play in Brownsville. So after listening to these amazing pitches by entrepreneurs, they have prepared for you, I hope by the end of the day you go out of here thinking, hey, I'm happy. So if you're thinking that by the end of the day, we all know we have done our job right. So thank you so much, guys. I think we have a slide for house rules. Yes, we're all friends here. You know what you don't have to do, right? Just silence your phones, be polite, and this is super important. Just be aware that you may be on camera. We're live streaming these, so be aware of what you're doing, where the presenters are here, because they might point the camera at you just to see your reaction, so be aware of what you're doing. And yeah, with that being said, let's welcome to the stage William Brown, our first entrepreneur to present his business here on stage. So, William.
Thank you. This one for next, right? Awesome. I get that. Hello, everyone. My name is William Brown, and I am the founder and CEO of Embedded, the future of patient monitoring. Allow me to tell you guys a story. One of my company advisors had her mother in a medical facility, a nursing home to be exact. The image you can see here on the screen shows her mother the day she went to visit her. She is happy, healthy, and content. 3 things we'd wish for any of our loved ones, especially our elderly, the most vulnerable population. However, later that night, my advisor went home and received one of the worst phone calls she could have received. And that was that her mother had fallen down at the facility. She began to ask herself, how could something like this happen? I'm paying the top nursing home in my region to watch over my loved one, and they have suffered from a fall. The injuries that happened to her were too gruesome for me to put here on the slide, but her face was completely bruised, swollen, her eyes were swollen shut, and a laceration going from her forehead down to her cheek. It was horrendous. And unfortunately, that scenario right there happens far too often for us to let it go. The CDC reports that the #1 cause of injuries and deaths in our elderly patients is falls, with over 14 million individuals suffering from falls every single year in our facilities, which results in over 38,000 deaths. 38,000 deaths that could have been prevented had there been more effective monitoring equipment in these facilities. Imagine the horror and the shock going through your mind if you were to pull up to one of these facilities to visit your mother or your grandmother, and their head was bruised because they fell trying to get out of bed, and no one was there to help them. It's horrific. I'd like to direct your attention to the $50 billion spent every single year by the government, by insurance companies, and the patients on treating the injuries for these falls. These patients, like I mentioned, are the most vulnerable, and any kind of accident is life-altering. And so it is very expensive for people to treat these injuries. And I have yet to even mention the 60,000 patients that suffer from bed sores every single year. Can you imagine the amount of agony and pain these patients are suffering in, laying in bed with open wounds on their lower body? It's horrific. And unfortunately, these numbers are only going to increase. The United States elderly population is currently at 55 million individuals and is expected to rise to 90 million by the year 2030. That's only 6 years away. 6 years. This problem is a national issue that needs to be addressed now because it's not only the nursing homes and elder care facilities suffering from this, it's our hospitals as well. However, that's why we here at Embedded are currently developing the solution to this issue. We're working with RFID technology embedded inside of a bed pad that will go onto the patient's bed. Our technology will then it will be able to detect, track, and monitor the patient on the bed, and the nurses will be able to get a live feed on their screen. They'll get alerts if the patient is on the bed, how long they've been in these certain positions to help prevent the bed sore formation. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, most importantly is that you get real-time alerts as the patient moves near the edge of the bed, so we can get caretakers in the room to prevent an accident before it even occurs. Looking at our competitive landscape, we could see some common products that we have either heard of, used, or have seen in action already. Bedside cameras are some of the most frequently used, but no one here would like to have a camera on them watching you 24/7. It's an invasion of our privacy, and at the end of the day, I think we can all agree that they're only effective if someone is watching that camera feed 24 hours a day, and that just doesn't happen. Yes, AI camera systems tackle that constant monitoring issue that cameras lack in, but it's still a big camera staring at you, and it can frighten our patients. And AI systems are known to mistake other objects for the patient or lose track of the patient because it's too dark in the room. And with the way the medical facilities are right now, we cannot afford to have accidents like this happening. Now let's look at bed alarms, these big clunky pads going onto the bed. No one here wants to be uncomfortable when you're trying to sleep, let alone our elderly. However, we here at Embedded have taken all of this into account and have made sure that our product, our solution, not only offers constant monitoring with real-time alerts, but ladies and gentlemen, it keeps your loved ones comfortable in their own bed. Like I mentioned before, the elderly population right now is at 55 million individuals here in the United States, and that number is projected to reach 90 million in just 6 years from now. 6 years. There's over 71,000 facilities here in the United States that will be affected by this issue. This is a fast-growing issue that needs to be addressed. And like I mentioned before, $50 billion spent every single year treating these injuries. However, with our product, not only do we decrease the number of falls, the number of accidents and injuries and deaths, but we offset that $50 billion and we lower that cost for government, insurance, and the actual patients themselves. Now, the funding from this competition will be crucial and allow us to accelerate our entry to market plan. The $40,000 will allow us to address several technology risks and allow us to perform the necessary research and development needed so we can move forward with our proof of concept testing, test out various features such as light systems that go off outside of the room in conjunction with the alerts on the bed. We'll also be able to move forward with our patent filing after we finish that proof of concept testing and secure our intellectual property. Additionally, we'll be able to hire additional personnel with this funding so we can address market risks and have a constant flow of feedback from us and the customers so when we go to market, we have a product that not only works, but is developed around the needs and the pain points of the customer. Additionally, this will allow us to begin our SBIR grant application in the first quarter of 2024 and allow us to have that submitted and completed by the second quarter of 2024. Now, I'd like to highlight our team here at Embedded for all of the work that we've been working on. We come from a variety of different backgrounds. I myself have a background in mechanical engineering. We have a software developer who is currently studying computer science and cybersecurity, and someone who's currently doing entrepreneurial market research for us, as well as a team of advisors who come from different medical backgrounds and commercialization pathways. Finally, I'd like to end and leave everyone here with my favorite quote I was told this year while performing customer discovery. It's quotes like this that I believe really show that there is a need for products like ours in the market right now, but it also helps reinforce what we're doing here at Embedded and show that, hey, we are moving forward with our good mission statement of ensuring we can watch over our loved ones comfortably and effectively. Thank you.
mentioned that you would be pursuing patent filings for your product. What type of due diligence have you done or will you be doing to determine that you've looked at some products in the marketplace? Have you also looked at the patent landscape?
Yes, I have. So I was able to get into a pro bono patent lawyer session, and they provided a thorough patent search and looking into the different products that are out there. Fortunately, there is nothing out in the market or has been patented that is similar to our product. So essentially, we are the first of our kind to go into the market.
Great presentation. So I have a few questions. So at this point, is there a prototype in place?
Not yet.
Okay, so it's all conceptual at this
All
point.
conceptualized. We're still, the next plan is to move on to the proof of concept phase.
Okay, so you mentioned there's approximately 14 million falls, and I'm assuming various landscapes like hospitals, nursing homes, etc. And that less than 1% or 38,000 have passed away from that. Now, do you have metrics on the amount of falls of those 14 million that have occurred outside of the bed versus on the bed?
Yes, so those falls, those numbers that we got, that is a mixture of those, either getting out of the bed or once they have left the bed, let's say they're in the hallway. However, many of these falls occur when the patient has left the bed and they start wandering the nursing home. So this happens a lot at night, and we've learned this through talking to various customers, which were the nursing home staff. During the day, they'll let the patients out and stuff, they'll hang out with them, but there's always a nurse with them. However, at night, sometimes patients with Alzheimer's and dementia, those numbers are rapidly increasing every year. And so lots of those patients, just like my grandfather, would wake up and not know where they're at. And the first instinct is, I need to figure out where I'm going. So they would get up and leave, and they would fall.
So then based off what you're saying, this is more of a notification system that A, they either fell, or B, they've left the bed and they should have some guidance or support.
Exactly, as well as they're nearing the edge, someone should be in there to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
I guess I'll follow up on something similar. So you mentioned 38,000 deaths roughly a year due to falls. Looking at a holistic picture, what percentage is that of the total deaths?
Of the total deaths due to the falls? Or?
Correct. So how much does the deaths contribute to looking at the whole picture?
So unfortunately, I think we can all agree that one death itself is too many. We shouldn't have patients passing away due to falls. Now, lots of these patients, I'm hoping I'm tackling this correctly. But yes, the big issue here is, we have a lot of patients who are getting up from the bed. These injuries, maybe they don't fall and directly pass away from the fall itself, but the complications that arise from that fall lead to them passing away. The medical procedures that follow that are highly invasive to the patient. And like we said, they're very vulnerable where they're at in their lives right now. And so they may have been fine, but that fall could have put them in a worse state. My grandfather would have fallen. Every time he would fall at home, it would just get worse and worse, and it takes a toll on their body. And so it leads to the higher number of deaths because of the complications that follow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, William, for your presentation. I guess my question goes back to, you want to come to the proof of concept. So before that, can you tell us what the solution is from a high level?
Yes. So what our solution is, think of this like a big mattress pad, right? A plastic sheet mattress pad that will go onto your bed, but beneath your fitted bed sheet. We're using RFID tags that are embedded inside of this pad. And so as the patient lays on it, as we know, radio frequency cannot travel through water, and there's water in the human body. So as the patient lays on top of these tags, we can see, like on the picture I showed before, we can see which tags have been blocked off, indicating, hey, we know they're on the bed, and that shape of the tags blocked off happens to be their body. Now this communicates via antenna, which goes out to the computer, and they can get the feed.
Okay. And you haven't hacked like a Savana with some tags or anything?
Sorry?
You haven't hacked a Savana with some tags and stuff?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another question. Well, do we have time for more questions?
Last one.
Okay, so the question is, it's a multi-part. So outside of an elderly person, who's the ideal client? Would it be a corporation? Would it be a corporation?
So the ideal client for this would be the nursing homes. Lots of them are switching over to private, so they would be considered one of the corporations we would sell to. Hospitals as well. The most accessible target customer we have right now would be the nursing homes. And then from there, scaling that up to the hospital facilities. Generally, it's a lot harder to get the product into the hospitals, but the nursing homes right now suffer the most from this issue. But as the population increase and these numbers increase, the hospitals will see it'll be a lot easier to get into that market as well.
So the follow-up to that is, I would assume from a scalability standpoint, revenue generation standpoint, an HCA or a tenant would be your ideal client to put one in every bed, correct?
Yes.
Have you interviewed or had conversations with a floor nurse, an ICU nurse, or anyone in the hospital system that gave you a practical outlook on this, where they have 7 patients, 3 of these alarms go off, there's only 1 nurse? How's that nurse supposed to get to 3 people that the dialogue is telling them somebody got off their bed, they might have just gone to the restroom, they may have picked up a blanket. How are you going to overcome those types of situations where they have to pick between 3 alarms going off that there was bed movement?
Right. So and we've talked to various nursing homes and hospital employees as well while performing customer discovery. One of the things they do is they label each of the patients based on their fall risk as well as various other medical factors. So in this case with our product, there's 2 solutions. They could either use our product only initially on the patients who are at a higher fall risk than the others, and then you can kind of combat the issue, or if all the patients have them, then either, hey, which nurses are closer, or if they say, well, this person doesn't have a higher risk of falls, that person might have just gotten up to the bed, but we know patient in this room is at a higher fall risk, we need to address them first. So that procedure is really up to the facility themselves, but yeah, there's those different avenues that can go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, William.
Thank you.
Well, this is a live event, and a lot of things can happen. So we're actually going to skip this presentation and come right back, but we're going to move on to another one. And I don't feel like having the production team sweat, so I'm going to go through all those slides real quick before you can see them. All right, welcome to the stage Hector Valdez with Aetherworks, addressing the pressing challenges that hover above us, the atmosphere. Hector Valdez from Aetherworks is here with an ingenious solution.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Hector Valdez, and I am CEO and co-founder of Aetherworks, and we are revolutionizing the way indoor farms increase their crop yields. Since the Industrial Revolution, we have released too much CO2 into the atmosphere. Currently, we're at 420 parts per million, and this is causing extreme weather. This summer, you all felt it. The heat was unbearable. This year is on track to be the hottest year ever. And so extreme weather is causing many problems. But the problem that I'm most passionate about is how it's impacting our food production. By 2030, 9 out of 10 major crops will be stagnant or decreasing in growth rate. And that is going to have a huge impact also on the price. And so, if you like food, like I do, you should be just as worried about this problem. Now, many experts believe that a lot of the traditional farming will move into indoor farming because you can grow a lot more food with less land, water, and you can protect against extreme weather. In addition, by indoor farmers adding CO2 into the indoor farm, you could increase crop yields by up to 30%, as you can see in that image. And so that sounds great, right? No problem. Let's all go home. But there is a problem. And the problem is how the indoor farms are adding the CO2 into the indoor farm. They are currently burning fossil fuels to generate the CO2. Let me say that again. They are currently burning fossil fuels inside their indoor farms. Doesn't that sound crazy? And that is causing an additional 540 million tons of CO2 to be released into the atmosphere globally. In addition to that, there's other problems that this method of burning fossil fuels has. They have to deal with fossil fuel prices varying based on world events, and they have to deal with transportation costs, and if done incorrectly, it could be unsafe. And so Aetherworks has a solution. We are licensing NASA technology that was designed for the International Space Station to take CO2 out of the space station. And so this technology has got to be cutting edge, right? And we are re-engineering it for on-Earth use. We are locating our CO2 capture products right outside the indoor farm, capturing the CO2 from the ambient air, containerizing it, and then releasing it into the indoor farm, helping them increase their crop yields. Now, this has two solutions. This gives us two solutions. The first is it helps the indoor farms not burn the fossil fuels that are causing the climate problem that we just talked about. In addition, we are providing a solution for our customer. That's what the customer cares about. What is it in it for him? We're providing them an on-site, clean, cost-effective, safe, and renewable source of CO2. And so our estimates show that indoor farms currently spend $1.4 billion on CO2 globally. And that number is expected to increase as the indoor farming market grows from $44 billion to $88 billion. And so there is a large and growing opportunity for Aetherworks, and we are ready to take advantage of it. Now, we have performed market validation through customer discovery, and here's just a snapshot of some of the conversations we've had with our customers. To summarize, our customers are saying two things to us. We're not happy with our current method of adding CO2 to their indoor farms, and they want our product in their indoor farm now. Since 2021, when we began our journey, we started working on our first lab prototype, where we had remarkable results and where we gathered our data to then move on and start building our first field prototype, which we just finished last week. And we are going to be taking that field prototype in a week with our pilot customer, and we're going to be testing it with them. So right about now would be a really good time to get some additional funding. Now, next, we're going to be moving on and gathering the data that we learned from there, working our minimal viable product, and continue on until we start manufacturing our first commercial product in the first quarter of 2025. And so, like I said, we're going to use part of the Startup Texas first place prize money for the testing we're going to be doing, but the majority of the money we're going to be using to apply for a Small Business Innovation Research Grant, an SBIR. In addition, we're going to be looking for additional funds in order for us to have a successful commercialization launch, and we're going to be, we estimate we're going to need $5 million. And so in the first 2 years of operations, we expect to be in the red as we grow our team, ramp up manufacturing, but by the third year, we expect to be profitable as we lease and sell our product to our customer. We're going to be first targeting the U.S. market, and then we are going to, and we're going to be selling business to business. And we know we're going to have additional revenue streams from the carbon credits that we're going to be able to claim based on the fossil fuel offsets that the indoor farms are no longer burning. And we're going to be able to branch out into other industries that use CO2 as an input in their product or service. And so this is a team that's revolutionizing the indoor farming industry. I'm CEO. We have Brandon East, CTO, who's a professional in physics and mathematics and has prior startup experience. Jim Weir, mechanical engineer, and has rapid prototype experience. Alex Romero, our research analyst. And so with this team, we're going to successfully apply for an SBIR, and we're going to reach commercialization. In addition, we have our great team of advisors who have been guiding us all along the way and helping us reach our milestones. And in addition, I just wanted to mention that we are also part of an accelerator called Expanding Frontiers, who have been with us and guiding us since day one. And so we can no longer ignore the climate problem and the food production problem we have. The good news is Aetherworks has a solution. We have the team and the technology to be able to successfully revolutionize and help the indoor industry decarbonize while helping increase crop yields to feed a growing population. If you'd like to talk to me, I'll be at the booth. And please join us, join our mission for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
So your prototype, is it going to be the same prototype for all of the various indoor agriculture operations? I mean, tell us a little bit about what that looks like from a scale-up standpoint.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the good question. Yes, we're designing our product to be a modular. So we're taking the modular approach where we'll be able to scale up and add additional CO2 capture products as our customers' CO2 requirements change, either increase or decrease. And so we'll be able to scale up and add additional modules to help meet their growing demand.
So these modules are symmetric, so they would be basically adding like 1x, 2x of the same X, as opposed to changing something more substantial?
Yes. There is a small variability where we can play with the performance of the product in order to capture a little more CO2 or a little less. And so there is some variability in each of the products. But for the most part, yeah, there's a certain amount that we're delivering.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go next. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So, two-part question here. So how costly is the capture rate of the CO2 or the system itself? And then what's the cost effectiveness of your system versus the traditional method right now?
Yes. So we know that indoor farms currently spend somewhere between 80 to 75 cents per square foot on CO2. And so we understand where our price range needs to be to a certain extent. And so our product, the cost of our product, how much it's going to cost the indoor farm, is going to depend on how much square footage they have. And based on our business model of leasing the product or selling it, we're expecting to have about 20% profit margin. And so with the numbers of how much it's going to cost, it's really going to depend on the size of that indoor farm.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to piggyback that question. Great presentation, by the way. Couple things. If you were to give a 10,000 square foot facility, at what point can the consumer expect break even, right? So when does that turn? And secondly, who would you consider your direct competitor that's doing essentially what you're doing somewhere else, if there's anybody?
Yes. So if they buy the product, we expect them to break even in about 6 years. Mm-hmm. And we expect our product to have a lifespan of 10 years. And so true cost to them is even lower based on those extra 4 years that they might get. For the question about our direct competitors, we have 2 direct competitors that are using direct air capture technology to capture CO2 from the ambient air like we are. Mm-hmm. One of them is Skytree, the other one is Carbominer. Mm-hmm. There are different stages of development, but based on what we have looked at and what their technology is, we believe we have still cutting edge over them.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're out of time for questions. So thank you.
One last one.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hector, tell me a little bit about the NASA technology, right? Is it exclusive? Is it royalties, licensing, et cetera?
Yes. So we have licensed our technology, and there's a royalty fee that we would have to pay to them once we start selling our product.
And the terms of the contract? How long do you have it?
How long is that lease? I'm not aware that it ends at any point. I would have to go back and double check that, but I can get back to you on that specific.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
You have to go back and set up the presentation. Just bear with me. Okay, there you go. So we're transitioning from the sky, the space, from the atmosphere to wait, where is it? Okay, transitioning from the sky to embracing our oceans. Wait, here it is. Okay. Okay. Our next company is inspired by the MerLion. The MerLion is known as the mythical creature that protects the seas and the harbors. Did you know that? I didn't know that until yesterday. I heard Arnie practicing, so that's a good fun fact to know. So MerLion Advisory Group, strives to stand as a guardian of our maritime operations. Let's welcome Arnie Tyler to stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Nelson.
Sure.
Okay. Good evening. I'm Arnie Tyler, MerLion Advisory Group President and Founder, and I've got some pretty cool stuff to show you up here. It's things that haven't been done. So think of this, Grandpa's fishing boat. All right, we're going to go out there and launch Grandpa's fishing boat. It's going to go collect a bunch of information and generate a bubble of information, both above the water, on the water, and below the water. And that fishing boat Grandpa's going to launch that thing. It's going to go out and do this stuff all by itself. So the automation is there, and he doesn't have to be on board driving it. Why would you do this? Well, one if by land, two if by sea. We've had Hamas go into Israel and do some horrific things here recently, right? The region is on a brink of major conflict. The world is on the brink of some pretty serious things. The real question is, could we have foreseen this and can we prevent it by interrupting before it even occurs? From the sea vector, I think we can do that. The challenge is that maritime domain awareness, that bubble of awareness, both above the water and below the water, is not really well understood, but it takes a lot of sensors to do it. Those sensors aren't interconnected. You can see a bunch of them listed there, things that pull information from above and below. It puts people in harm's way. They're all independent, makes it very person-intensive to be able to operate. And all those provide a monitor. A monitor will be displaying all this information. And what the Navy and Harvard has found is that after just 20 minutes of a person staring at multiple screens like this, they missed 95% of the incidents on the first crack. The Navy even found out they went further. If you tell them it's going to happen the next hour in 20 minutes, you're still going to miss 95% of them. MerLion wants to do this a little bit differently. Grandpa's fishing boat is going to be at the middle of this thing. It's going to have the Hydra cat. The Hydra is that multi-headed creature in the marine industry. The cat is the catamaran. So this is a catamaran-style fishing boat. We're going to put multiple sensors on this thing, and we're going to go out and detect threats or potential impact on our environment, whether it be boats, people, a sunken vessel that's leaking oil. the ability to monitor the water quality around the fish that are out there. And I'll come back to this a little bit because it's not just defense I'm talking about, it's about sustainability of our planet. 70% of this planet is water. We need to take care of it. We can feed all this information in that little box. It's the operations center. We can take the operations center, push that information back out to the operators that are doing the response, put it on a heads-up display like you see in the movies. And then they can go out and respond to it appropriately without having to wonder what they're up against. Our competitors are doing some similar things. Papa Romeo, Sail Drone, others. I've talked to all these guys and seen that and more. But they tend to be blue water focused, meaning focused on the oceans, not on the coastal environments, not on that what we call the littoral environment. They're focused on the big stuff. It takes ships to launch these vessels. They have autonomy, but they also have independent systems that they're working with. It's not a conglomeration. It's not an aggregation of all these different sensors. MerLion wants to do it different. So we want to do a fully autonomous system similar to what they're doing, but I'm going to make some changes to it. We're going to definitely reduce this down to just Grandpa operating this boat. All right? He's going to go out and turn it on. It's going to go do its thing. It's going to be coastal focused. It's going to have whatever sensors you want to add to it. Doesn't have to be the same set all the time. 3 challenges with it. Artificial intelligence interfacing with a robotic operating system in a marine environment where there's no roads, there's no stop signs, there's no turn signals. That system has to figure out how to navigate all by itself. The spoof-proof part of this is navigation requires satellites today. We want to get rid of the satellite interface because that's a vulnerability, a massive one. So we get rid of the satellites and we go into the Coast Guard with a system and we get certification to operate this thing. By the way, all those other competitors, they don't have this yet. The International Maritime Organization by 2025 wants to be doing this certified transits across the ocean. We need to get on board with this. We started with that little white thing down there at the bottom. It's not much, it's 5 feet. But it's already producing some funding. So when you look at this graph here, we are marketing this capability right now, but it's very manpower intensive, very time intensive, and it takes a lot of effort to get it done. We need to get $40,000 on this SBIR effort so we can actually get the SBIR grant written, a proposal, and then get that grant so we can get going on this thing. The HydroCat, get it U.S. Coast Guard approved, and then start building from there, because that's the first step. The second step, and there's possibly multiple SBIRs along the way, the next steps here are to get that 720-degree MDA. What does that mean? It's everything around us, everything over us, and everything under us. We're going to look at all of it all at one time at 720 degrees. That bubble of awareness is going to have some immediate industry applications in tracking chemistry of the water and making sure we're taking care of the resources we have. After another 250,000 there, we want to go to sensor fusion, where we can correlate one sensor to the next. So if one sees a contact and another sees a contact, you got pretty good confidence that you're actually looking at a contact. It's not just an aberration that's on there. From there, now that's a pretty viable product for everybody. But if you want to put cybersecurity on top of that and then do a once you have one system of systems, why not have multiple systems of systems? And put that out there, and now you're covering and making a much larger bubble of awareness, and you can cover your chemistry all the way through the threats to your environment, threats to your people, threats to the coast. Pretty good market opportunity, 47 billion listed here. Serviceable, available market. That's the technology side of it. Where's that money at? Pretty good at $1.25 billion. I think we can start pretty easily just at 30 million. I'd be happy with that. All right, the part that I have not put in here, now I'm just looking at Navy, Coast Guard, Border Protection, National Oceanographic, Atmospheric Administration, that's a mouthful, and then U.S. Department of Agriculture. If I delve into the new stuff that's coming out, your wind farms, your wind energy, 16 combined annual growth rate for a wind industry that's just as big as the federal budget that we're talking about. And if you go down to aquaculture, a lot of countries rely on their aqua sources, but they're at a pretty good CAGR as well, 300 billion, 6 times. The team, I've got an outstanding team. We got nuclear engineering, physics, presidential security technology, global stability and security. I'm talking about Defense Threat Reduction Agency on Admiral Jerebick there. We've got some partners, and I'll highlight one that I want to get with, and I've already talked to them. I want TMAC involved in this. They've got the perfect artificial intelligence, robotics environment to start driving this, and we can do it down at our facility down in Port Isabel. Industry partners, I already talked to Wes Hudson out there at Shallow Sport. He's on board. He wants to get some autonomous systems built out of the shop here in Los Fresnos. We can bring some jobs into the valley pretty quick. Our next steps then is $40,000 to get this thing kicked off, get that SBIR award, the first one, get our 1.25 million over the course of that to build this thing out to defense industry and all other industries, and then start looking at how we're going to get this thing out to everywhere. It's going to take that Coast Guard acceptance, though, to get this thing started, and I need to get the funding to get that going. With that, that's all I have, and I'm ready for questions.
So how many of these units do you need? Or, I mean, I'm just trying to envision how it would work. I mean, are you going to take these measurements, if you will, in a particular square footage, whatever that area is, and will you be, how many, is it just like one unit measures what space is what I'm trying to get at?
Envision one unit like this working in the Port of Brownsville in the turning basin and being able to profile that environment, develop an entire bubble that covers that. Okay. Now it's going to take some more if you're doing, even though the channel's narrow, 17 miles out there, you're going to have several of them,
right,
or have one moving back and forth. The good part of that is as it's moving down there, it's profiling everything. As it's on its way back, if you get a change in your environment, it's going to pick up on that change. And it's going to send the alert back to the operations center. People can start moving on it and making some changes to whatever that threat, or assessing to see if it is an actual threat.
And the second part to that question is, how often do you have to do this to make sure your data is current? That these measurements stand up? I mean, especially if it's not just for defense purposes, but if it's like looking at environment and measuring contaminants and things like that. How often? What should be the frequency?
So it really will depend where you're at in the world. So if you go to Pohang in South Korea, for example, the water there is pretty dirty. You don't want to swim in it. Manila Bay was like that, and President Duterte changed those water parameters to the point where they could swim, but it took them 6 years. So initially, I would say you're going to have boats working in there pretty constantly. Maybe a higher density of boats, depending on where to isolate where you're having the problems at. But over time, you can relax that and start working. Maybe the entire Manila Bay is worked with one boat to just maintain currency and to highlight any specific areas that are not in compliance.
Great presentation, and I see you're a veteran, so thank you for your service.
Sure.
I'm trying to really ascertain who your ideal customer is from. I guess from a revenue perspective, getting a defense contract is every company's goal and objective because of the opportunity. We look at the multi-billion dollars. But, and forgive me for my ignorance, but aren't submarines do similar work to this? Don't they have sonar and things that they can pick up in the water as well? So I'm trying to ascertain, are you trying to go to a Port of Brownsville and provide a service that maybe is, obviously they're not going to buy a submarine for the most part at the Port of Brownsville, but they might buy this. But from a defense contract perspective, do they need this if they already have it? And if you brought up threats a few times, I mean, wouldn't somebody be able to blow it up fairly easily if it's a fairly small thing?
Or hack into it.
Or hack into it, yeah. So I'm thinking of all those perspectives and who is that ideal client for this particular product?
I see two ideal clients. I'd hate to limit it because the Department of Defense has got some definite needs. I worked 20 years in the Navy doing coastal security, port security operations. The challenges we had in that port, if we went to Pohang, for example, we had a guy get sick. And I'm not sure if he passed away or not, but he never dove again after that because of all the bacteria and stuff that's in the water over there. So why put a person in that environment when you can put a system like this that's taking a look at the chemistry underwater while it's looking at what's going on above the water? So you get a full maritime domain awareness, and it's actually a very strong term throughout the world in the world of navies and coast guards right now. It has been, I've seen it in Africa and other places I've been. So being able to identify what the threat is to human life, to marine life, three-eyed fish in Pohang Harbor, that's not really uncommon. So there are some issues out there that we pump human feces in that harbor for 1,000 years. So we want to be able to clean that stuff up. And can you blow it up? You can blow anything up. Use a kayak against the Ukrainians. Use a kayak against the capital ship of the Russians and sank it. So yeah, you can do it. But guess what? Maybe this has multiple sensors. I only put 500,000 into this vessel versus 500 million. And so you're going to have to sink a whole lot of these things before it makes a difference. These are designed to give you the awareness so you can respond smartly. So when the guys get in the patrol boat to go out there, guys and gals go respond, they know exactly what they're coming up with. Think about a sheriff or a police officer showing up to a car. Every time they go up to that car, they've got no idea what's going on inside that vehicle. Now think if you had a camera inside that vehicle, so as they walked up, they saw everybody was doing. That's what I'm talking about here. Now they can respond appropriately. They can have the right tools at hand when they go do it.
Thank you.
And we are at time, so thank you.
Sir. Thanks.
Got to click through a few slides here, so I apologize ahead of time. Entrepreneurs are really unique in that they always ask themselves, what if? DeCON Environmental is asking, what if we could make septic tanks more sustainable? So presenting on behalf of DeCON, Mr. Aram Flores.
Hello everyone, my name is Aram Flores and I'm a co-founder of DeCON. 80% of our population will undergo water shortages within the next 10 years. Wastewater maintenance pipes, if they don't go under maintenance, will create clogs and backups and nasty smells. Gray water can be defined as kitchen water or dishwasher water. But this water is not reused or recycled. It has abundant amounts of grease, organic matter that cannot be recycled into a home. Black water, also known as toilet flushing water, is out of the question. It is not recycled. Thrown out every time you flush, never comes back. The average American household wastes about 200 gallons per water per week. That is 10,000 gallons per year. And across the US, that's 1 trillion gallons of water wasted. And it doesn't return. And it is estimated by 2071, the fresh water provided by the United States people will run out. Our solution, the DeCON powder. Our DeCON powder is able to clean 90% of that gray water. It is a NASA patented license, and although we don't want to drink that water yet, we're sure able to give it a second life. The trillion gallons of water I talked about earlier, this powder is able to take out bacteria, viruses, grease, solid waste, and is safe for human, pets, and the environment. This powder also prevents scaling and fouling, and it's also be able to use in plastic, metals, and in concrete. That means any facility that has to deal with water can be reused inside their system. So why not reuse this 1 trillion gallons of water? It is estimated that the market size at a at a compound annual growth rate of 14%, will grow to 30 billion by the end of 2030. This technology will provide a disruptive technology into this market. It will help solve critical issues inside this market. There are other providers and methods to clean water, but nothing what DeCON is trying to tackle. There's systems that use filters, but those filters get dirty real quickly. And then there's also enzyme and bacterial additives that also back up and create more clogs in the system. Sometimes you overtreat it, sometimes you undertreat it. It pretty much has to be carefully calibrated. Our monthly treatment powder packets provide an ease to use and low cost. So starting early next year, we will apply to the SBIR application early as 2024, January. And mid-2024, we will like to implement a manufacturing capabilities for this product, for the proof of concept. And then into 2025, we would like to distribute to different channels. This will be Walmart, Amazon, Target. That way you'll be able to see it, want to buy it, want to implement it. So first we'll start out as a business to consumer. Reach out to the small market, and then eventually we want to scale and grow this to actual larger business models. So we want a business-to-business model, and we want to pretty much treat those trillion gallons of water loss. That way we'll be able to recycle and have a self-sustaining system. So with the Brownsville Public Utility Boards and Cameron County Environmental Health Department have advised us on where to implement our system, so we're having ideas of how to implement to a larger market. Our skill set brings capabilities to the group. I am a chief financial officer with a computer science background, financial specialist. We also have Aaron Castle with an environmental chemistry background, Josel Rodriguez with a biology background, Ovidio Vasquez with an electrician and logistics background, and civil engineer Elisa Morales. We also have an advisor from Expanding Frontiers, Dr. Janae and Jane Lee Hicks. And also the courses and Startup Texas apprenticeship program that has helped us throughout this journey. So in DeCON, we envision a more sustainable and scalable solution for water reuse. And remember, all the water that will ever be is right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Aram. Thank you, Aram. Appreciate the presentation. So did you guys develop this technology for this powder? Or I saw NASA logo earlier, so.
Correct. This is a NASA licensed patent.
Okay. And for how long?
We're under the research license, and we have it right now under research and development phase.
Okay. And then I noticed you were talking about your go-to-market strategy, B2C, right, consumer. So how would you pitch that to us, if we're at Walmart, Target, Lowe's?
Yeah. So small scale, you want to reuse the water. It is contaminated, you accidentally leaked, but you want to reuse that water. So primarily, if it is slightly contaminated in Walmart, you'll be able to see it and say, hey, this thing kind of takes out for me to give to my plants, or me to reuse for the car wash. It is something small, and it can also implement if you have a home that has a septic system. It also helps kind of lengthen that small system for now.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The DeCON powder itself, you mentioned, I saw the comparison. Is there waste generated, or does that just dissolve? What happens to the powder after it is used for treatment?
So after the treatment, what it does is pretty much, if you were to see a gray water, it will eventually accumulate to the bottom.
Okay. So is that just waste then, or
Yeah.
can it be reused? What happens to? So once you use the powder, its usefulness is finished, and you have to throw it away and start with another batch of powder.
Correct.
Is that how
because
it is? Okay.
any additive chemical to any system will eventually have to be added more.
Okay.
So, great presentation. I'm trying to understand from a home perspective. It's like mini wastewater treatment at home, right? Is maybe what am I tracking correctly? Okay. And so, I mean, most advancements in plumbing, people aren't using septic tanks, maybe in more rural areas, what have you. But if I had this system or this access to powder at home, wouldn't I have to do a lot of infrastructure, or am I just getting buckets after my shower, putting in the powder? How are you utilizing it or recommending to be used in a household perspective before you scale to large organizations? I'm just trying to think of the intensity I would have to put in effort to get this wastewater, if you will, into usable water for plants, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. So some people already have a system set up to pretty much irrigate. It'll be the in-between when they're doing the filtering. In septic systems, sometimes there's aerobic where they have to like spray out, and sometimes the spray breaks and you will need to replace that system, which is more expensive. So at-home use is mostly, which is like the 250,000 homes that will be impacted by this. That will be the at-home use case. It will be existing systems, that way you add it beforehand. It's a pre-treatment.
I hear what you're saying. Thank you.
Okay.
1 minute for questions, if you have any. 1 more minute.
Yeah, I guess I got one more. Going back to her question as far as the residue left from the powder itself, right? So I'm imagining there's some sort of residue or sediment that settles at the bottom, right? Is there any type of, I guess, comparison to what that may do to the system after years of usage, or is there anything that you've kind of looked into that so far?
Yeah, so I did think about it because it's septic system, what's the point of like pretty much cleaning the water, and then if they're going to be taken out anyways, why even use it? So in the aerobic system, you want to lengthen the lifespan. It still settles in the bottoms. You still need to pump out that residue. So at least on that perspective, it will prevent you from, within the lifespan of whatever the septic system is, which could be 20 years, to replace it for another 40 grand. So it will probably extend it to 30 years or 40 years, which saves you money.
Okay.
And is the residue a biohazard potentially, since it's contacting all of this other stuff? I guess that was what I was trying to get at. And his question clarified it for me. I mean, does one now I have created a biohazard that I now have to dispose? Is that a concern? The sludge that makes the water clean, is that sludge now basically a biohazard because it has now contacted, sewer water or whatever it might be. So how would you treat that sludge? I guess is what you do with it would depend upon what its properties are and whether you need to be concerned that now it has all this bacteria or whatever you have removed from the dirty water. So I guess that's my question, is are you creating another problem, potentially?
So if dirty water is a problem, you're just separating a cleaner state of water to just a dirty state of water underneath it. If anything, it can kind of help pump out that residue in the bottom. The other idea I have was that could be, in the septic system, sometimes it's used to irrigate the field. So maybe it could be probably reused for fertilizer, but that will be dependent on which use the person wants to use.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron. A big round of applause. This is our last business presenting today. So we're going to switch gears a bit. Let's talk about pain management. Manuel Narcia. I don't know if you struggle with pain, but many people struggle with pain daily. And while there are numerous methods out there, not all are free from side effects or risks. Enter Pisharodi Electronics. Let's welcome Manuel Narcia to the stage.
My name is Manuel Narcia, and I'm here representing Pisharodi Electronics. We're excited to show you the cap we're developing for managing pain. More specifically, headaches. Okay, so let's say you're at work or you're at school, and you have this, you're at work or you're at school, and you have this massive headache that you can't wait to get rid of. So what do? You usually reach out to your purse, your bag, and you take some over-the-counter medication. So headaches like hypertension can affect up to 15% of the population. Tensions can affect 80% of the population, and migraines about 15%. So let's say you take this over-the-counter medication, and after a few hours, you're fine. Okay. So let's say this happens maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and over-the-counter medication seems to be working for you. Okay. So unfortunately, people with chronic pain is the complete opposite. People with chronic pain suffer 15 days in a month and can't simply resort to over-the-counter medication. They have to seek more invasive alternatives for solving their pain, like surgeries or injections around the head. So statistics show that unfortunately women are 3 times more susceptible on getting headaches like these. So, and you can see it's because of that is more costly for women. So treatments for migraines can cost $17 billion in the United States, and cost per person are an average of $8,500 for chronic migraine and $2,000 for acute migraine. So even so, let's say over-the-counter does work for you, you're opening yourself to side effects, long-term and short-term side effects. So patients that take medication are 10 to 15% more likely to have some type of side effect, and that would increase to 70% for stronger medication. People are really tired of having to resort to invasive, risky, painful procedures for solving their headaches. Why do they do that? Because there's no other alternatives out there yet until now. This is our solution, non-invasive vibration cap, or short for VCAP. This is what our device looks like. And inside this cap, there's multiple vibration motors. It has a very thin USB cord that comes out through the back and can connect to either a power adapter or a battery bank. Again, this is very light, very flexible cap. You can take it anywhere, pretty much weighs as much as an average phone. So this cap also uses Bluetooth, and that gives patients easy access to its features with our custom-made app that is already available in the Apple and Android store. This app gives patients easy access to intermittent stimulation on any targeted affected location. What kind of stimulation? That's not supposed to be there. But what kind of stimulation? A wave pattern type of stimulation. So basically, we are showing you the top view of the cap, and you can see the large area that it can stimulate. And combining this large area with intermittent stimulation, you can have, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. So you can have, you can overcome what our competition won't be able to overcome yet, is to avoid tolerance and overstimulation. And neat thing about our hat is that we have full control over the wave pattern. We can vary the intensity, we can vary the frequency, and the type of wave pattern. our competition. So right now our only competition is the TENS unit, which stands for transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. So basically how it works, this device produces electric pulses from one side of the pad to the other, so limiting itself to stimulating a small area. And because you can't really move to other areas to stimulate, that continuous stimulation is what makes you build that tolerance. And again, like I said, our cap overcomes that. And by merging the intermittent wave pattern with the large area. Another benefit that our cap has is that we target A beta fibers. A beta fibers tend to be thicker than A delta fibers. The TENS unit targets A delta fibers. And because the A beta fiber is thicker, this means that the traveling of information to the brain is 4 to 10 times faster than the TENS unit, making it more effective on treating pain, in this case, headaches. So direct to consumer online market. So total addressable market is 79 billion. Our serviceable addressable market is 17 billion, more focused on migraines, and with the goal of obtaining hopefully 1% of the market the next 4 years. Financials. So this is just an estimate. We hope to be profitable by 2028. We're still working on the numbers, but we believe we can achieve a revenue of 700,000 by 2028. Next steps. So we do have a working prototype. It's just not 100% done because we still need some fine-tuning, some R&D. With this grant, we will be able to produce more of these devices for testing. We will also be seeking some SBIR funding, and thanks to this program, we are able to do so because we were introduced to some mentors that have a lot of experience in doing so. And so because of that, we should be able to obtain a grant by 2024. So by producing these caps, we will be able to fine-tune our product. So the goal is to better stimulate the A beta fibers by using what we have as a benefit, which is being able to vary the intensity and frequency of the cap. And our goal is to enter the manufacturing stage by 2025 and to obtain around 75,000 by the end of 2025. This is our team. I'm Manuel Narcia. I'm the electrical engineer. Parameshwara Namputri is the mechanical engineer. And Rosalie Fernandez is the secretary who's in charge of the day-to-day basis. And our founder of the company, Pisharodi Electronics, is Maravan Pisharodi. He is a neurosurgeon. He has been practicing in Brownsville for 35 years, and he's also an inventor. So we were able to make this cap thanks to this team. Okay, so our main goal here is to be able to provide people with a non-invasive method of treating migraines or chronic migraines without the risk of expensive procedures and invasive procedures. So that's it for this presentation, and I open to questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Manuel, for your presentation. A couple of questions, just quick ones. Are you a co-founder of this company?
I am not. I am the lead engineer.
Okay. Engineer, yeah. And then what made you decide to join this venture? Like, what was your personal interest and drive?
So a lot of people are struggling with these types of headaches, and there's really no other alternative than to go to these invasive procedures, and people are kind of tired of it, and we want to be able to help patients to improving their quality of life.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go next. My question is more on the application or the use of the product. As far as treatment, so is this a product that you need to wear to get the benefit or the relief of the migraine? So if my migraine is a 3-4 hour long migraine, do I need to wear the cap for 4 hours? Or does like a 15-minute treatment give me relief for 5 to 6 hours? So I'm kind of almost comparing it to like popping an Advil or Tylenol, right? I get 8 hours of relief. So how does this compare to that?
So because this is a non-invasive cap, you can wear it as long as you want. There is no really time limit. As long as you have pain, you can use it. I know because if you take Advil or those medications, you tend to build tolerance. So you can't do that with this cap. And of course, that wave pattern that we produce allows us to overcome that tolerance and overstimulation.
So you use it as long as
there's no risks. As long as you need.
Okay.
That was kind of my question. Great question. I want to know how long are you supposed to use it? Is this like a before bed type of thing? But it might be a little early, but do you have an expected retail cost? If I wanted to buy this product, am I spending $300, $150? What am I looking at? And what do you anticipate your cost to produce this product?
Yes, so our current competition varies from $400 to $500. Our retail cost, our retail price for selling this item would be $240, and it costs us $120 to make.
You mentioned the founder was an inventor. Does the company own the intellectual property, or are you licensing it from somebody?
The founder owns the intellectual property.
And in terms of using this, I realize it's not invasive, but is there a need, especially in the migraine scenario, to consult with the physician, or are you about to make a problem worse?
No. This is completely. You can get this over the counter. There's nothing invasive. There's nothing invasive about this cap. Of course, if you have like some type of surgery that you would have to be very careful with, and I would of course suggest you talking to your.
So there's not a concern about overuse.
No, there's no concern
or misuse of it. Okay.
Do you feel that folks that have severe migraines or that have continual migraines, do you feel it's going to be a barrier to be at your workplace wearing the helmet for 6 hours if you're continually having migraines? Because from what I'm understanding, you have to wear it to get relief, unlike a Tylenol where you pop it, slow release, what have you. Have you thought of some barriers for that where people are going to be continually wearing this hat in public places, at the workplace, what have you?
It is a really light hat, so I don't see why that could be an issue. But like for example, like you mentioned Tylenol, for people with chronic migraine, that won't simply work. You would have to consistently be taking medication over and over and over again. But I don't think there's any issue with that. I'd say at least that's what I think.
Okay.
All right, we are at time, so thank you very much, Manuel. All right, thank you, everybody. And I'm going to have our judges go and follow Nelson out to the deliberation room. Those are all of our presentations for tonight, but please don't leave. We have plenty of alcohol, plenty of food available. We'd like to also say a special thanks to our sponsors, the MIDI Foundation and Ruby Red Hospitality, for making this possible. They were our sponsors for our Quality of Life Summit, as well as our SBIR Summit, and our Future Emerging Industries Summit as well. And again, thank you to our partnership with Texas A&M's Engineering Experimentation Station. We'll be right back in about 20 minutes, so hang tight. Please grab some food and drink. Thank you all very much. All right, everybody, please gather around. You don't need to take a seat, but you can please come over here while we announce our award winners. First and foremost, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this evening, the Mitty Foundation and Ruby Red Hospitality. Quick round of applause to our sponsors. Quick round of applause to Texas A&M Engineering and Experimentation Station. And then another round of applause for our judges. They had a really long night tonight, so thank you. And without further ado, in third place, we have, drum roll, Pisharodi Electronics. Come on up. Manuel? Yeah. Congratulations again, Manuel. All right, in second place, we got the check coming up. In second place for $20,000, we have, drumroll, judges. Linda did injure herself this week, so. We have Embedded. William, come on down. All right. Yeah, just stick around over there. And if I can actually get all of the remaining teams to line up over here as well. All of the remaining teams, please. Yeah. So Arnie, I know Hector wasn't available. Thank you. All right. In first place for $40,000 for their business, we have Aetherworks. Hector. Unfortunately, Hector is not available to accept it, but BCIC will accept it on behalf of them. But we're very excited that they were able to win. So, round of applause for Aetherworks. And if I could get both of you to come up on stage as well. You both worked really hard through this accelerator program, and we actually wanted to both surprise you as well with your own checks. You're each getting $2,500 for participating tonight, so thank you all so much. I feel like Oprah. Everyone's getting a check. All right, thank you all again. Please enjoy. We got plenty of food, plenty of drinks. We'll be going at this for another 30 minutes, so thank you all. And if I could get all the award winners up, we're going to take one big group photo. Thank you.
Okay. If I could get all the judges to come over here as well for a quick group photo. Commissioner De Los Santos, you're still here?
Oh, baby.